right. So, Garrett, our topic for today is strength training. Well, strength training. Yeah. Yes, sir. Resistance training over cardio.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so jump in and give us an explanation on a little brief summary of what both of those are.
Yeah, so when people typically think of cardio training, they're thinking of walking, running, or jogging, bike riding, swimming, things like that. And those are beneficial, especially when you're starting out, just to increase your calorie output. But I like to think of them in a slightly different way. I like to think about them, and I actually learned this from a trainer that I worked for real briefly, and he talked about activity versus exercise. So whenever you're doing cardio training, it's really just activity. So it's calories that you would not have burned otherwise. But whenever you stop whatever activity that is, your increased calorie output has now gone back to normal, right? So after you walk for, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, you've burned a good amount more calories. But then when you stop, you're not burning any additional calories after that activity is over. Strength training, weight lifting, resistance training, however you want to phrase it, is going to be a lot different. So you're going to have a increase in your calorie output. It's not a huge, significant increase in calories output, but you're creating a metabolic effect that's going to extend how long your body is burning additional calories. Because what you've done is you've activated hormones and a process for your body to have to then repair itself and recover itself to build its strength back, to build more muscle tissue. And over time, when you build more muscle tissue, you're going to increase the burning of calories throughout the day. So the calories that you actually burn throughout the day, about 5% of the calories you burn in the day are from when you actually exercise. So if I were to go, when I go to the gym today and I work out and I try to, kill myself, I'm only burning about 5% of the total calories that I'm going to burn in the day. Me walking around, I have to do some stuff for our yard today. Me walking around doing that basic activity is about the next 15% of those calories. I'm going to burn about 10% of my calories from eating. So the thermic effect of food, which is just a real fancy way of saying your body has to use the calories that you consume. When you eat protein primarily, it's better because there's a much more high thermic effect of that food. You'll burn more. There's a study that says calorie for calorie, if you ate more protein in that diet, you'd lose more weight automatically. You could eat 2,000 calories a day if that's your baseline still, but to increase how many grams of protein, you're going to lose more body fat. And then 70% of the calories I'm going to burn, the remainder are going to be my basal metabolic rate, my normal baseline requirement for my body to exist. So if I'm burning 70% of my calories doing nothing, I have to find a way to burn more calories while doing nothing. And the answer to that is just building muscle mass. You see all the fit guys, fit men and women, and they're just eating like nonstop. Like Bradley Martin, I mean, he eats like 7 burgers at a time. He's super lean. There are things that he has helping him, but one of the major things is the fact that he's lean. He has a lot more muscle mass, so his body can burn those additional calories more effectively than myself or Big Rob. And so you have to think about things like that. So strength training and resistance training is basically just when you make your goal building muscle mass to burn more calories throughout the rest of the day, not just the activity in which you're doing right then and there.
So, which would you say that someone starting out or somebody just trying to get a better idea of how they should train? Uh, should you start with cardio first or weight first?
Man, I like to start with the weightlifting first whenever you're trying to learn. And it's because if you try to learn a new skill, the older you get, it's harder to learn. The old dog new tricks thing. So I would say start with the thing that is going to give you the biggest net benefit over the long haul. I also like playing college basketball. I ran all the time playing, and I didn't. My joints never liked it. My ankles, my knees, my hips always hurt. Right, and so I don't like doing that. But I can lift. I can go hack squat, and that don't hurt. I mean, my muscles hurt, but my joints are fine.
Yeah,
So that longevity argument that is there is if you're weightlifting, you can do it for longer, and you're going to have a lot more net benefits that end up happening. Now, if it's somebody who's literally going from the couch and like they can't, I don't know, they can't do a push up, right? That's fine. Start wherever you are because weightlifting and resistance training, it can scale to any level. Jimmy Kolb, I want to say is his name. He's pushing for a 1,500 pound band bench press. That's 1,500 pounds on a bench press. I have boys that I'm training trying to get 300. You can scale it however you want. So you can scale it to your 59-year-old mom. You can scale it to my 60-year-old dad, almost 60. He'll be 60 in September. You can scale it to me at 29, turning 30. You can scale it to my wife, who's 25, turning 26. You can scale weightlifting a lot easier. When it comes to cardio, you don't really have a whole lot of scaling that you can do. And then also, you could only run so long in the day, right?
most
Like,
definitely.
because at a certain, you get so good at it. This is another, kind of piece. Cardiovascular training, specifically jogging and running, you're actually getting your body to get more efficient at that activity, right? We learned this thing that we're doing. Well, to get more efficient at running, your body needs to burn fewer calories. So over the long haul, it's kind of funky when you start thinking about it. Over the long term of doing cardiovascular training primarily, you're training your body to burn fewer calories doing that activity so that you can do it longer.
Interesting.
Yeah. So muscle mass back in the ice age was very costly. You didn't want a huge amount of muscle because calories were very scarce, right? And they were very costly, meaning your body burns a lot of calories if you've got a lot of muscle mass, which is good when you're trying to control that nowadays. But back then, you wanted fewer overall large muscles because you wanted to be capable of the strength that you need, but you may not eat for the next week. So like you
Yeah,
need to have those types of controls. So your body's got more efficient at walking and running and just being an endurance-based animal like that. So yeah, the longer you do endurance-based things, the better you get at it, the less benefit you're actually getting out of it. But strength training, you can scale it up and down however you need to. You can have a really heavy, hard day, or you can have a lighter, easier day that just kind of gets everything moving. And so it's easier to learn those things because you can go over the long haul a lot better.
gotcha.